dude. This guy hasn't let me be this lucid forever.
Unzip and let it all out.
Yeah, dude. I'm always on a tight schedule and shit. Checking my watch.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys. We're a little bit like, just go. Whatever you guys want, man.
Wow, dude.
Cool. Just Talk Podcast. We're just going to flow, man. We are with the two members. I'm sorry, one had to leave. Of Opinioneering.
Unfortunately.
And you guys are?
I'm Colt.
Danny.
Yeah, cool, man. Is there anything you guys want to bring up? I always ask that.
I could Batman casting.
Wow. I was going to jump in, but thanks.
I jumped on it, dude.
Go for it. I'll jump in next. I'll jump in next.
Batman casting.
So you're old Batman.
I think that they should go. Here's the thing: I think that they should take a break.
Yeah.
I think DC needs to take a break.
I think
they need to let Wonder Woman end it out.
Yeah.
They need to let Wonder Woman end it out. Say, okay, this was our run.
Yeah.
We fucked up in a couple areas. Not in a couple. In like 90%. Fuck that. I'll give it another 5%. 95%.
Wow.
And,
are you quoting me, Danny, with the argument that I arguably just won?
Because it went full circle.
You went full circle.
Full circle.
Huh?
It wasn't really about. I
on.
wanted to hear your full thoughts. Full circle.
We're getting
The
back
viewers
into
don't kind of know about it. The viewers don't kind of know. I mean, the listeners.
The listeners, yeah.
The listeners don't
They're
kind of know about
watching
it.
that little dot go right across.
You know what? Well, me and Danny will do a recap of our rant later.
Yeah. Okay. So I want him to. They need to take a break. They need to concede the battle to Marvel.
I also agree.
Yeah. They need to give that.
I just think that Batman, Superman, let those two main characters just have a rest. 5 years, 8 years, whatever.
Well, I was thinking
focus on other ones.
I kind of thought they should just scratch the movies in general. I think they should just let it go. I personally, I know it's like huge thing to say.
It's huge cash. Like they can't let it go forever.
Yeah. Right. No,
I
know
for
it's
at
a lot
least
to say.
3 years.
It's a lot to say.
3 years.
Just let it go, right? You put all this money into these films, and it's a lot to be like, here, just let it go.
Right. Exactly.
But I personally think, like, dude,
Pulling
your
Elsa.
comics are actually really good right now. And look at Marvel's comics.
Dude, hold on.
Tanking. Marvel comics tank compared to the other ones. So it's like, I don't know, man. Let your comics ride the wave for you for a minute.
Right.
Dude, but here's the sad part. DC just laid off like 35% of their workforce.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Well,
Because comics are not. They fucked it up.
well, so that's my other worry was comic fatigue. We've talked about this
Comic
a couple
book-
years
yeah, comic
ago
book
in our
movie fatigue,
podcast.
yeah.
When we first started, we were so worried. Our first worry was like, just a quick example. I know we're talking about DC. I don't want to go too hard into Marvel, but when we were like, dude, we can't wait for Infinity War, and we had Schaff on the show, we were so concerned about. I'm worried that once Infinity War finally came around, we were going to be fatigued.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want to see anymore.
Well,
It's getting
people were
old.
already fatigued right before that.
Right.
They
and
were
now
like
it came out.
The fatigue started with Doctor Strange.
Right.
In our
Very,
opinion.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, in our
with Doctor
opinion,
Strange.
Doctor
Which was a
Strange-
good movie. Like it was
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
it was actually pretty
Yeah,
fun.
it was cool.
But the normal consensus was, well, not normal consensus. I mean, the nerd sphere that
And
we
not
hang
only
out in.
fatigue
It was
for the
fatigue.
normal viewer, right? So there's people who don't read these comics and just go to the movies.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
But not
That's their
only
source,
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
right,
Yeah,
and-
see, like
There's one
Panamite.
right here. Yeah.
right, and so not only fatigue for the normal just movie cinema viewer, but the fatigue for the comic readers too. They're going to be like, you know what? I just kind of want to read the books.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to these movies right now because
It's
it's
like a
just
weird
it's
oversaturation.
oversaturation
Yeah,
is a
they've oversaturated
big
the
deal,
market
right? You
hardcore.
got to be careful about that. And
But it's
that's
interesting though because you guys are talking about fatigue, but Aquaman just hit fucking $1 billion.
Right, but hold
Also,
on,
on
hold
that
on,
note-
hold
on that
on, hold
note-
on. On
Listen,
that note, hold
I
on.
am
There's
more than just an
big
average
red flags.
viewer,
Right.
and I did not go see Aquaman.
Yeah.
I
Here's the
avoided
thing.
it actually.
Aquaman hit $1 billion. You know how much it made in the States?
Not a lot, like 300 something. But it was all
The last
made
time I
overseas.
checked, and I
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
doubt it was 3.
Right.
Well, it was last time I checked was 230.
Yeah,
So I don't
it's
doubt it
three-
hit 3.
it's three
Overseas
something
in
right
China, it made over like 700 million.
Well, that's where most of the
overseas.
money is
Well,
going.
that-
Right.
That's most of the money, yeah. But I mean,
But the
there's
idea
movies.
of the people not going anymore.
Right,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the world abroad, they're okay with it because it was actually a pretty good movie. And yeah, Aquaman, we haven't released that episode yet. I was editing it actually just this week. We're releasing an Aquaman review that we did.
Yeah.
Aquaman wasn't horrible.
No.
And it is fatigue in a sense because people finally wanted to see something different than what BVS and
Yeah.
Justice League
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
Okay? So they wanted to see something different. I do not think that. I think Wonder Woman's going to do good and it's going to break a bill. A bill is easy to do nowadays. Pirates of the fucking Caribbean did it.
Are you talking
know?
about Wonder Woman 2? Or?
Yeah, Wonder Woman 1984. That's what it's called now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Wonder Woman 2 is going to break a bill.
Oh yeah.
It'll be just fine. But it didn't here in the States. If you look at a movie like people are like, "Oh, The Dark Knight! It beat The Dark Knight." Well, The Dark Knight made $650 million here in the States, and the people, Warner Brothers, is based here in the States. That's why when Paramount or New Line Cinema, I forgot who it was, or Legendary created the Warcraft movie.
Which I didn't see.
I didn't see that one either.
You're not missing anything.
It made 800 or something like that million in China.
Yeah.
So they remade that movie and they didn't release it here in the States. They released it. They're releasing it only in China.
Wow.
So when you say it made a bill, that's cool. But that doesn't mean anything for Warner Brothers, who their main demographic is here,
Right.
and the main toy sales are here in the States.
Right.
So the numbers are kind of skewed, and also you have to adjust for inflation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right, you have to adjust for how much movie costs now than it did.
Right.
What? When did Dark Knight came out 11 years ago now?
Right.
This July is going to be 11 years
We
ago.
went to. Oh no, you weren't with me, huh?
I don't know.
Me, Caleb, and Hector actually. Hector, I don't remember Hector. We went and saw the 3 movies all in a row in the movie theater in IMAX, all 3 of them.
Nice.
Oh, Dark Knight?
Yeah, that was forever ago.
Yeah, it was a long time.
That was also sick, dude. That
Nice.
was.
I've never done that. I've been wanting to do that.
We did that, yeah, all 3 of them. They did one for the Avengers, but that's like fucking 10 movies. Like, no thanks.
But going back, I think what they need to do is after Wonder Woman 1984, they need to stop. They need to stop, concede, and they got to chill out. And then what they got to do is, I've heard 2 arguments. It's let look, Superman and Batman be their own thing, but then we can make our own characters. But here's the thing: who are the 2 cornerstones of the DC universe?
Batman and Superman.
Batman and Superman. So what you have to do is execute them well.
But this is what plays back to what you're saying. It's like they've gone so far, and we've got this big superhero fatigue happening, and you've got actors dropping off, such as Henry Cavill.
And they're getting older too.
And they're getting older, right? So we're not, now they're like, oh, recasting. But you got to take a step back, and like we were just arguing behind the scenes about Blizzard, you gotta. I'm not trying to bring that back up, but you gotta connect back to your home
original fan base.
Your original fan base. You gotta get that back going.
Or at least like your roots.
Roots, yeah. Because if you start going so far in to this, and you're fiending for the money, you're losing your core fan base.
Yep.
Right. Well, that's the argument that I had with a fan of not fan. Well, he is a fan, but he's also a friend of ours. Schaff. He was. And here's the thing about Schaff. I love Schaff to my core. Like I take a bullet for the guy.
Best friend.
I really would.
Guy.
I disagree. We disagree all the time, and we have great conversations, and he's still a really good friend of mine. But he was saying, like, he was excited about what was happening in the DCEU, and I was like, it's gonna fail. Like I predicted it 2 years ago on episodes. It's gonna fail. Why? Because his argument was like, well, you can't do what Marvel did, and I was like, yeah, you can. You can very easily do that because they're very different characters. Like, well, they didn't want to do that, and Marvel is succeeding. I'm like, well, the reason why Marvel is succeeding is because they didn't make Cap. They didn't do some offshoot random ass story where Cap. The serum is aging him, and he's now a 60-year-old dude in the future, and that's what they did with Batman. They made that he's 55 years old, right? And then they did this offshoot story that everyone. It's like one of those things that like if you don't like something, people get mad at you for it. Right. Yeah. I'm not a fan of The Dark Knight Returns.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Frank Miller's. I really don't. I like aspects of it. Okay. But as a comic book as a whole, I don't think it was that good.
Yeah.
And people are like, what? Or Watchmen. If you say you don't like Watchmen, just say it and run out the door. Because people are going to get... Watchmen was good, but it wasn't...
The movie?
The comic book and
the movie. The comic book and the movie. Okay.
Yeah. But...
I enjoyed it.
So they went off of this offshoot story, and they said that this is going to be our cornerstone, but a lot of the fan base... They thought it was okay, but it's not what you create your foundation on. Right, what they need to do is wait a little bit, create a good foundation of who Bats is and who Superman is, and because they're dichotomies. Superman is light and hope. Yep. Batman is dark and justice.
Yes.
And they play well off each other. When they're talking about social issues, Batman believes that everyone at their core is bad. Right. Superman believes everyone at their core is good. Right. That's good civil discourse. Exactly. And they didn't have that here. It was just like, oh, Bruce, it was stupid. Moving forward, they need to not retcon. They need to redo it from the beginning, establish those 2 well, and you can add people in. Like it's not a problem.
What happened was when they're going into DC. Because when you make a movie, right, from the comics, they rewrite things differently. Story-driven or whatever it is you're going to do this different because you don't want to just film the same thing that was written down in the comic book. I get that. Change the story. Comic book goers will be like, well, it wasn't done exactly as the book, but,
Yeah, you're going to get those
That's fine.
And also sometimes things from the book doesn't translate well.
Right.
when you
Yeah.
shoot it in a
Right,
film.
totally.
It's a different
But the
medium.
thing that I think DC messed up on was like the actual character itself. You can keep the character itself the same,
Right,
but the story different.
Right.
And like we were talking in BVS and going into those Batman
That
films,
wasn't my
it was
Batman.
not Batman.
That was
It
not-
was
it
not
was
the
not
Batman that majority, we'll go with the 95% of the Batman goers.
We'll
would-
give you some
We'll give
5%.
90.
We'll give it 90. Okay. Okay. We'll go backwards. We'll go 90 instead. But all right. So, but
Just give them the extra 5%.
Yeah.
right,
Jeez.
we'll bring it back a second for people. But right, it wasn't the Batman that people grew up with, knew and loved.
That's
So it
fair.
was hard to attach to because you gave us a different Batman and a different story.
Right.
And it's like that's hard to connect to.
Yeah.
But when you give the same Batman but a different story, it's like reading a comic.
Right.
Because not every comic's the same story, but you get the same Batman.
Right, and that's
they
why
didn't give that to
That's
us.
where you got the best Batman stories, right?
Right.
The Court of Owls.
You knew Batman, and you just wanted to see how the Batman you knew was reacting to this situation through the story.
To a new scenario, yeah.
But we got this movie where it was like, that's not the Batman
it's
I
not.
know. And even Superman wasn't really the Superman we know.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
Man of Steel. I really, really like Man of Steel.
love Man of
A
Steel.
lot of people didn't like it, but I really
well,
liked
you
it.
worked on it, so.
You worked on it, right.
It paid my bills, so I loved it. It paid my bills. I'm
But
good.
when I saw Man of Steel, I was like, fuck, man, they're doing this really good because
Right.
it was a different story
Yeah.
for Superman's upcoming, but the same Superman we were always used to. But he knew his goal. So I was like, I told Danny my faith for BVS was so high because they did that. I was like, I feel like they're not going to fuck this up.
Yeah.
Because they know in their hearts they can't because Marvel is stomping all over them and they still found a way to just screw the pooch.
How much of that do you think is the leadership at the studios? Yeah, because now right now, you had Zack Snyder, and then you go over to Marvel, you had Kevin Feige, and now what's going on with the whole Warner Brothers universe, and I think Rich sent me a post about that, is Toby Emmerich is the one that's taking over, and he's like, no crossovers. We're not going to do that anymore. We're not going to create a universe.
I mean, I think that's also a Hollywood
no.
problem, though, right? Like, anytime you see somebody say, like, oh, the producer of this was on this film, we all know he didn't do shit.
Yeah.
Like, anytime I see, like, I love Ridley Scott. I'm really into Ridley Scott shit, but when he was like, Ridley Scott's the producer, and I'm like, okay, so he had nothing to do with this, pretty much.
He
He
just
just,
gave him money.
Yeah,
it just
he
says,
gave him money.
right. So that's a big issue with Hollywood, saying, like, Scott Snyder produced, or somebody produced, or whatever. And then I automatically know, okay, well, they didn't really have any artistic input in this, and it's Hollywood just throwing their spin on it to make the cash.
Well, you got to look at the demographic that you're going for, right? This is not it's not a rom-com. It's you have a certain demographic that goes to watch these movies.
Right.
And in the past, and here in the last, let's say before, okay, so like BVS came out what 3-4 years ago. Okay, so let's say
Yeah,
4 years
something
ago,
like that.
2015.
No,
okay?
less than 4 years ago. It was like
2016.
That couldn't have
16?
been.
No,
BBS?
because
BBS was 16?
I've only been with my girlfriend for 4 years, and we watched that. We've watched like all the DC films together.
Okay, then 2016. So before
So good
that,
litmus test right there.
dude, that's my timeline. It's how long I've been with a girlfriend. That's when things happened.
so let's look at the previous 10 years from that. Warner Brothers, the biggest hit movies that had this same demo was Watchmen and 300.
Which Watchmen, I liked.
Watchmen was good.
That shit was
No,
good.
Watchmen was good.
Shit
You know
was
why?
good,
It's because
dude.
it was the only one that, what Rich said, like, you can't take shot for shot this and this and this and have it translated over. Watchmen, they did that, and it actually worked.
It definitely worked.
It really worked. But
So good.
that is the exception
So
to the
good.
rule. But before that was 300, both directed by Zack Snyder. Watchmen was Alan Moore, but heavily influenced from Snyder because of Frank Miller.
Right.
Yeah.
Frank Miller adapted 300.
Right.
And if you hear our podcast enough, Jason makes a great argument that Zack Snyder only has a career today because of Frank Miller. That's the only reason why. He is not,
Nice.
and here's the thing, is I have to preface this because we got a lot of flack from people about this, and rightly they should have, because they felt that they needed to defend the guy. I do not wish that what happened to Zack Snyder happens to anyone on this planet where they lose a child.
Right, of course.
Like, you
Yeah.
never want that.
Yeah.
Him as a director, I want him to produce or create Goku versus Vegeta on Namek. Like, I want to see him. He's a good action director.
Right.
Cool director.
Good
Yeah.
story-driven things that are good. People are like, Man of Steel. Well, the consulting producer, which is different. They deal with the writing, they deal with this, and he actually got a writing nod for it, was Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan will ground you and say, do one thing and do one thing very well.
Right.
And that's what he had to do. He had to bring him in. And then he could go to the Warner Brothers because he had enough say with the Warner Brothers executives to say, no, chill, I'm here, chill.
Yeah.
Then they let him off the loose, and he's like, I'm a maniac, and he went crazy, and like, no, dude, no, this is not good.
Right.
It's also hard for the viewer to recognize when Hollywood, when they're making these films and getting these people from either comic book writers or things like that.
Dude, you're putting the vape like right next to your dick, and it's really weird that I have to go grab it. I'm just throwing that out there.
Don't forget, he's very hung.
It's okay. Yeah, dude.
I can. Well, that's
They
why I'm
heard
saying.
it.
That's why I heard it.
They heard the hung,
I thought I was grabbing the vape.
Yeah. Fuck, dude. What was my train of thought? God damn it. Oh, when viewers are viewing these films, they forget to, like, fuck.
Grab their dicks.
They grab their fucking dicks, dude. You stole it right from my mouth. Anyways, no.
The words. Oh, okay.
The words. Grab the dicks.
The cum.
Dude, oh, man. Oh, okay. No,
Sorry.
They have to understand, and I guess they don't because it's all about money at the end of the day, but they don't understand that a lot of times Hollywood's going to pawn off these jobs that should be one person's job to another person's job and say, you are helming all of this, by the way, but my name's on it.
Right.
It's kind of a thing that happens a lot, so people don't understand that as well when either story writing or character writing or development or whatever happens. That happens a lot, and people as an average viewer aren't going to recognize that, and then it's just hard, man. It's hard for you to overcross these stories from comics to movies.
Well,
with that happening as well.
To answer your question, like, do you think it was the execs? I really think it was the execs.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because the execs saw what was our biggest cash grabs towards this
They
demo.
see dollar signs. Right.
What were their dollar signs was
exactly.
Watchmen and 300 in the past 10
Right.
years. And so they said,
Let's
who did that?
recreate
Let's
that shit.
recreate that.
Let's recreate it,
So
right.
the execs are at fault in this. And you know what's his name? Marco knows him like the because he's actually worked with him.
You point at the seat he always sits.
Yeah,
He always sits there, by the way. For the listeners, he's always to our right side on the right couch
Right,
on the
yeah.
far
Over here
mic. So
somewhere.
we pointed to that. As if he's here in spirit.
So
Shout outs to fucking Wafflecast, man.
yeah. So I really think it was, but they need to bring it back, ground the DC universe in their two flagship people, which is Soups and Bats. Do them well, and shit. If your next movie, after Wonder Woman 99, is just called World's Finest, and it's Batman and Superman, and it's them figuring out each other, and that's your first movie, that'll work.
Yeah.
If
Totally.
you do a good story,
Right.
If they produce. You can't do that one. That one's a little bit further along because people are like, "Make Hush!" Like, what the fuck? No,
No way, dude.
no.
That would confuse so many people.
No, if you do like a Superman for all seasons, Jeff Loeb's story,
Yeah,
Superman
that's
for
a
all
beautiful
seasons,
one.
and infuse that with year one.
I was gonna say, dude,
So-
do like shit like with year one and stuff.
Yeah,
Like, what
do
the
that.
hell?
That's good. And then at the end of that movie, after Bats and Soups fight each other. Shit, no, hell no. But fight with each other and work through their turmoil and their conflict. At the end of the movie, then you can hear like some dude. There's what's the shield? Not shield, but you can hear someone else be like, "There's like the Green Lantern." And then you hear Legends, and then he says like, "Hey, let's go reach out to these people as well and join and create a league."
Yeah.
And then you have individual Green Lantern movies, individual this movie, individual this movie, but they are the core. They're the apex of what the triangle branches off of this universe, and that's where we go back to the casting of a good Superman or a Batman.
Right. I mean, it just seems like it blows my mind because we sit here and talk about what we think would be the right decision, right? But we're not on the hot seat, which blows my mind. Like, it brings me back. I don't want to get political at all. I don't want to, but I'm just gonna just use this as a reference. No, screw politics, man. Don't take me there. But anyways, I don't even know enough about politics to argue. But anyways, it's more or less like, when I see, just quick example, no shouting out to anybody like getting anyone, but like when Donald Trump makes a really dumb tweet, because we all know he does, it's like, who the hell is letting him do this? Right?
Well, that's why we had the segment in our show called Boardroom Drama. It's like, who's
Right.
sitting in the
Who
boardroom
is
being like,
sitting there
who
and letting
greenlit
this
that shit?
happen? It blows my mind. And we sit here on a podcast, not even having a career. I don't have a career in fucking film, but I'm sitting here and be like, dude, I would have never made that decision just because I'm a fan.
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
but that's the
yeah.
thing you just said right there. That's the most important thing. You're a fan. These things are a part of your world.
Right.
Somebody that's in charge of whatever product this is, they should not be in charge of it if
So
they're
it's-
just like,
they're
you know
not
what I want
letting-
to do? I want to put nipples on the costume.
Right. So it's not letting fans take the seat is what's happening, right? These guys who are just greedy for the money take the seat. And which makes me wonder, are my favorite writers and directors just been money hungry this whole time and I've been fooled?
have you seen
You know what I
that?
mean?
Hold on,
Kevin
why
Smith
do you
come
think Alien went downhill?
Oh, like the series Alien? Like the movies
Yeah,
franchise?
do you think it was Ridley? Because Ridley left the scene.
Ridley left. No,
he left the scene for. a
Well,
long
what's
time.
funny? Because Ridley. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not 100%. Ridley did number 1, but he did not do number 2, right?
No, that was James Cameron.
Yeah.
Number 2 was fucking awesome.
That's
Well,
James
why?
Cameron
Because
all day.
James Cameron was a fan of the originals,
Right.
And he wanted to say,
he was
"I can."
a fan.
Yeah.
And then 3 people really hate. I rather enjoy it.
I never saw 3.
It's actually cool. It's. I mean, I'll set the scene real quick. Go
ahead.
Ripley gets. Go ahead. Thank you for the permission, Danny.
No problem, man.
No, so Ripley gets stranded. After Aliens 2, she's on the fucking ship with the dude and the cat and the girl.
Oh, the dude, the cat, and the girl.
Right, dude.
Lebowski's
And
there.
and Kermit the Frog and fucking fucking
forget to
Big
find the
Bird,
cheese.
whoever. But anyways, they crash on a fucking planet that's a prison planet, and the other ones die. And it's just Ripley, and they get stuck there. And there was an alien on board with her.
It's just so weird.
Yeah, it's a weird concept, but then it impregnates a dog who becomes an alien that runs on 4 legs, and now they're stuck on this planet with no weapons and 1 alien, which is so cool to me. I don't think people look at this because Alien 1
Yeah,
was
that was
just
just
called
that.
Alien, and it was 1 alien fucking everybody on the ship. Aliens, plural, which is the sequel, meant multiple aliens. It's a fucking war. And you get back to Alien 3, just single, you're fighting 1 alien now. And I was like, that's a cool concept, and I think people overlooked that because they thought the film sucked.
Right.
It's like the alien cubed. It's so funny.
Aliens 4 sucked. But anyways,
Resurrection.
Resurrection was bad. But yeah, and I'm not saying Ridley is a saint by any means. I thought Prometheus was a steaming pile of poo.
Here's the thing:
Poo.
is that we've had this discussion before. Again, if you guys have seen our show, you've already heard this. I have not seen Alien 1, Alien 2, Alien 3. When I was like 9,
We have not had that discussion.
Yes, we have.
Well, I guess
No,
we
we
have it
have
now.
Listen. Let's hear if this sounds familiar to you.
Okay. spit.
Because I told you, because I listened. Well, I had to edit this so I know I said
Me and you
this.
are having a date night, bro.
We should have a date.
We're
night,
having
bro.
a date now. We're watching
and
them
then we'll
all.
stream it.
I have
We'll
all
stream
of
me
them.
watching it live.
Yes, I have them all, dude.
Can I
Dude,
join in
Mystery
this? 'Cause-
Science
Yeah.
Theater?
Mystery Science
Mystery
Theater.
Science Theater right now.
Do this shit.
Let's go.
But
I would watch
anyways,
that. That sounds really good.
Sick,
So-
dude.
I
Watch
have-
this, watch this.
yeah.
Shut up.
You just have our head shadows, like, oh, dude, this fucking movie.
so I was like 9 when Alien Resurrection came out, and I've seen that one. I've just seen bits and pieces of it.
You
I
were
don't-
not 9.
I don't remember.
I wasn't 9.
I don't remember when it came out, dude. I was young.
All right, then don't-
All I know is that I
Early
don't.
2000s.
I
It
don't
was early 2000,
early
2003,
Okay, so I was
4
like
maybe.
1997.
Holy shit.
Wait,
Alien Resurrection, right?
Yeah.
Resurrection?
Yeah, 1997.
Bitch.
1997?
Guess what? Hey, guess what
Here,
that means?
here,
I was
Colton.
9
Colton,
years
you
old.
see that? It says
Wow. No, I'm mind
1997.
blown. Wait, when did the first one come out then? That was like 80s, right?
76.
No,
No.
70s. Yeah, 70s.
76.
Aliens came out like
Alien.
almost like 6 years later.
84, I think.
Wow,
Yeah,
dude.
it was a
When-
long
when-
time.
when
I'm surprised it was
Alien-
so bad then.
6 or
I thought
7
movies
years,
back
yeah.
then
I
were
was in
good.
76.
Who wants to go first?
Wait, for Aliens 1?
For Alien.
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 the first one.
ALI.
1978.
71. 71.
78.
I said
I'm going to
76.
say 71. I'm going to go fucking far-fetched.
Y'all wrong.
What is it?
It's 1979.
Ooh, I was
79.
All
Okay.
three.
All
Danny
right.
said
All right.
78.
When
Nice.
was Aliens?
The plural.
The James Cameron film. I say
83.
80,
83. I
No,
say
no.
84.
no.
87.
83. No,
No.
I'm saying
I say
83.
87.
No. I'm saying 1991.
What?
86.
Ooh.
Nice,
and
dude.
totally redeemed myself.
Nice, dude.
But here's the thing. I only saw pieces. I haven't seen any of the other ones.
Right.
Okay?
They're
So,
good. Please.
but here's the thing. I saw Prometheus.
Yeah,
So I'm starting
not a
it.
good movie to start
Hold on.
though.
But here's the
Yeah.
thing. I'm starting it in chronological order of
Yeah.
the timeline of what the
But let
movie
me
should
explain.
be.
yeah,
I'll give a
that's-
quick explanation because
So I have a different perspective. I
you do.
enjoyed
that's
Prometheus.
a clear.
You enjoyed Prometheus.
I enjoyed Prometheus.
Let me explain why I did not.
Oh god.
No, what, oh God. Let me have it. Come on.
You can have it, dude. I just know that how passionate you are about the Alien series.
I love aliens. Now listen, Prometheus was not a good film because I love the idea of leaving things open-ended. I'm okay with that. I love putting pieces together, waiting for our next film. I'm a fan of like if your film wasn't full, right? You blowing up my face for a reason. I'm a fan of like if a film wasn't full because you planned something greater in the second or third film. I'm okay as long as it pieces together.
Right.
Now the thing that Prometheus fucked up on
Uh-oh.
is there were so many open endings that you never even went back and answered them.
But you just said that you like open endings.
No, they never answered
They never
them.
answered
They never
Oh,
answered them.
okay.
So I
Wait.
watched a YouTube video of a guy for an hour straight going, this is why Prometheus was good. Let me tell you why, and I'll explain everything. Okay,
for an hour?
if I had to watch your YouTube video for an hour straight why you think the film was good, then it's not a good film. I'm sorry. You didn't tie anything to anything.
Wow.
You left so many open-ended fucking things, and you didn't even really tie it to aliens until the last 5 minutes.
Yes, Danny. Yes.
Did you watch the 5-minute video shorts that were only released on YouTube by Ridley Scott?
5 minute.
5
Not
minute
one.
shorts.
No, they were shorts.
Oh,
and,
no.
and in pieces, Prometheus to Alien Covenant.
Right. Okay. Well, that's another argument. Why do you have to make 5 minute shorts to piece of movie
Because
together?
Well, at least they're only 5 minutes.
live in a digital world of media, and you want people to you spread it out. That's a marketing technique, dude. And again, goes
I'm
back to
sorry.
the execs fucking
Look,
shit up.
Let me just say this: when I watched Prometheus and I walked out of the theater, I walked
You
away.
didn't answer my question.
I didn't watch it. No, I said no.
Oh, okay.
I did not watch it. But when I walked away from Prometheus,
I thought we were bad.
dude, we jack each other off all the time.
We're Thunder Buddies, bro. We're Thunder
We're
Buddies.
Thunder buddies, dude.
Yeah, I've
That's
slept
why you
with
sit next to each other.
That's why I sit next to each
why.
other, dude.
I have to
We
get my
have to.
Colton filled.
We slept in the same bed.
Multiple
it's okay.
times.
Multiple times.
I send him random gifts all the time of people crying, saying I miss you.
Dude, it happens. Dude, I even said today, I don't even care about the podcast. I just want to hang out. But anyways, I haven't seen
exactly.
you, baby. I miss you. Don't tell my girlfriend about this. No, but when I walked away from Prometheus, I walked away and we, as friends do, you stand in a circle outside the movie theater in the freezing cold and saying, how was it,
Boy,
guys?
we've done that one time.
Right. So I'm always like, you know what? I walked away from Prometheus saying, you know what? I think I enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing what Ridley Scott's envisioned before Aliens was. I love the idea of the I can't think of their name because I'm fucking drunk. The fucking engineers. I love the idea of the engineers and them being the creators of humanity. I was so into that. And I was like, I'm waiting for the next one. It's okay. A lot of the ended pieces didn't match up, and that super sucks. Do I think Prometheus was a good film? No. Did I enjoy it? Yeah, kind of. It was cool. It was like, I get it. But then when I saw the new one, Alien Covenant, it was like, let's just abandon everything and just start with aliens.
Did you like Covenant?
No, because they abandoned
finish it.
everything with the aliens. The engineers.
Right.
They abandoned it, and I was so bummed because I was like, dude,
I can feel that.
that was such a cool The first 5 minutes, it's like, here's the engineers. We're over that. Aliens time. And I was like, no, dude, we've seen 4 alien films. I wanted to see more of what Ridley Scott was writing about the engineers and the creation of humanity.
See, here's the thing. I really think that Ridley Scott had an idea with the engineers and everything, and then people bitched about not seeing an alien when they found out that this was an alien
Which
prequel.
sucks.
And
Which
then they said
super
that's why
sucks.
the Prometheus 2 was actually called Prometheus 2. Yep.
Yes.
And then late in
Alien
production,
Covenant.
Right.
they created Alien Covenant,
Which was a bummer. Which I defended a little more because Ridley Scott, as a fan, he dropped the project halfway through, let everyone else finish it because he moved on to other shit. He did that. What's that TV series that was produced by him or something? He abandoned it halfway through Alien Covenant and was like, "Okay, I'm gonna let you guys finish it up." He went on to Blade Runner 2099, then abandoned Blade Runner 2099 and said, "You guys finish it." It's like he's half doing his projects. He's kind of setting the tone
but
and leading.
Blade Runner 2099 was fucking.
That was
Brilliant.
an exception. That ended up great. I couldn't believe it. I was so worried when I heard he left the project and was just co-producer. I was like, I'm so bummed. I'm worried.
Well, no. He went and helped develop the story of 2099, and
But he left, right?
He left.
He left.
He let Denis Villeneuve finish it.
Right. But
Yeah.
it still turned out great, which was
Well,
good.
we've talked enough. Just Talk podcast. What do
Right,
you guys
dude.
think of the execs
Fuck.
and shit? Sorry, we went off because we're
No,
drunk.
I'm actually completely listening to it. Everything I'm like, yes, keep going. What else, you guys?
I could go
Keep
for
talking.
days, dude.
You're
Especially when I'm
validating our
drinking, I
thoughts
can
to
go
our
for
listeners that
days.
think we're stupid.
I'm learning.
Which is funny because usually I feel like the stupid one between this guy and Jason, dude. They're on a whole nother level. I'm on like the Rotten Tomatoes level, dude, and they're like up here. So right now
This guy
I feel like I'm
right
fucking
here.
king because I can
This
say
guy.
shit I know. You know what I'm saying?
This guy, I
But
feel like the
please.
idiot of the group.
That's
Just
okay,
the three
dude.
of us.
I think it just
there you
depends on
go.
the topic
Thank you.
because if you guys start talking old school video games, I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna.
I've
stop
got
doing
my
it.
topics, but let me hear what these guys got to
Yeah,
say.
yeah, what
We
do you
went
guys
off on a
thought?
tangent about
So
aliens.
I'm while you guys are talking about all this, I'm learning about it because for me it's kind of like cool, and that's probably why I'm really quiet. Do apologize about that. But
That's okay, yeah.
It's kind of nice to hear everyone's thought about it, Because I know.
Opinions?
Yeah.
The Opinioneers. Dude, welcome to the Opinioneers, man. Mind blown, dude.
Yeah, totally, dude. So, I mean, I appreciate it. I'm just like, whoa.
Well, it's funny
Like-
because I mean, it sucks because I don't know a whole lot about the industry. I get it all from this guy, but I do know what I like.
I went to film school for a little bit.
And that's what I talk. I mean, I know what I like. I won't pretend to know anybody else, but like I said, I know what I like, and I will talk what I like. But
Yeah. So, what do you guys think on the topic of
Go.
of the execs and everything? We talked about Superman, Batman.
right,
We
I
talked
guess
about
I guess
Alien.
the topic is between
The execs.
creation, right?
Creation,
the
yeah.
the executives between the fans, dude.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I-
just want somebody that's a fan.
Well,
Like I was.
yeah, but I think it's always political with, politics always get in the way. And money.
always
Money,
money.
money
It's
always
always
gets in the way.
money.
You're
Yeah.
right, yeah.
And it sucks. And it
Money makes the.
I mean, I don't know much like you guys do, but it's like I think it seriously does take away from everything.
Dude, that's so flattering because I feel like I know nothing.
You're not the only one, Colton. You're not the only one. I feel like I know nothing.
I'm just too busy of a guy to research these days. I just text this guy.
I don't even know. I don't even know where to begin. And like half the time, I'm just like, I don't know where to go. Like I don't know where to begin. I don't
It's
know.
just weird because
just
like
begin
remember
with
how
what you like, man.
in our the episode where we just talked about the origins of each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Mine was the golden age of Hollywood. So I've seen Hollywood go from its
Worse or
conception,
good.
its inception,
Yeah.
its conception stage,
Right.
to where it is today.
Right.
And I mean, it's just
would you say it's disgusting?
what it's turned into?
What it is
Yeah.
now?
It's different.
It's different.
It's different. I wouldn't say disgusting. You have stuff instead of having such like a full fan base, you have just quick snippets.
Right.
It's
Well,
because
faster now.
It's more of an understandable kind of situation,
Yeah.
right? Like it's like you're like I'm the fan and I want to see what I want to see,
Right.
but you
But
have
there's
to
different
understand the
mediums,
business
too.
side of it, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like going back to real quick, like the NFL. Like I actively really hate the NFL right now.
I do too.
And I grew up loving football.
Yeah.
But it's just
It's
like
changed.
It's changed, but you gotta
That's what my
understand. I
dad said,
guess
too.
there's the business aspects to it, and I'm not in that
Sucks.
hot seat.
Yeah.
I'm not in the business
Will you
seat.
come back when Tom Brady retires?
Will I come back? No, it's
got
not
like
even.
5
it's,
years.
it's not even
He's
his
not going
fault.
anywhere for 5 years.
I can
Sad
go
to
on
say.
about Brady.
45.
years?
45.
Yeah, 5 years.
He's
He
going to
wants-
retire at 45.
He's
Yeah.
going to settle 45. I can go on to why I think people overestimate Brady. I could go on, and I know I'm right.
Oh, I did. I asked him one time, and he's
Should
like,
I
"How long
say
do you
it?
have, brother?"
I'll say
and
it.
I told him, and he's all like, "I have 2 words on why Brady is a fucking chump."
Not even 2 words.
No, here's how he did it in 2 words.
go for it.
Matt Castle.
Thank you. I love this guy. Okay, I'm gonna say it.
listening to me.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. I guess just real quick because of the industry and the style. I guess this even plays into movies. It could connect to movies when
It's everything.
Yeah.
when you get a viewer and
Everything is relative.
you get people these sports analysts. I could say honestly, the sports analysts have ruined
They're the
sport more
worst.
than anything.
Dude,
I
did you
agree.
watch when Tony Romo did the commentating?
He was no. Wait, are you gonna say he's bad? Because I thought he was great.
Yeah, I thought he was amazing.
He was
I
great.
didn't like him. I don't like Tony Romo. though.
No,
That's the thing.
no,
he
Tony Romo as a
called
quarterback-
every
Quarterback.
play.
I think
quarterback,
that's the
he's
reason
shit.
why I was sitting there. I was like,
No, but okay, let me say
As
this.
a commentator, he did
called-
really good.
He called every play.
Really good.
He knew the defenses. He knew how to talk. When you get guys like Chris
So would you
Collins,
say
Chris
he's
Collinsworth is the worst.
let me explain.
so would you say he's a better commentator than player?
Hell yeah.
No, but let me say this. I thought he was a good player in the wrong team with the wrong coaching. I'm a Broncos fan, and I would have taken Romo so quick.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
Over Peyton Manning?
No.
He won you a fucking Super Bowl, bro.
He did not win me that Super Bowl. The defense in Von
Von
Miller
Miller.
won me that Super Bowl. Fuck you, all right?
No.
I am two heart Broncos fan. My dad's a big Rams fan, so I am also by genetics.
yeah.
I am a Rams fan, and that Super Bowl was not good. They played like shit. But anyways,
It's experience.
Chris Collinsworth. I'll give you two quick examples of why the NFL is not fun to watch. When the Patriots were against the Seahawks were on the 5-yard line. I'll give you pace by
Conspiracy
pace.
theory? You think that was kind of set up?
Well, let me
I
just.
think it is.
I don't think it was set up. I
'Cause
just.
I have an entire argument about that where
ahead.
basically the guy that was going to get the ball,
Right.
Sean Lynch, the entire season is like, I'm just going to do this interview so I
Marshawn.
don't get
Oh,
fined.
okay,
Marshawn
perfect. I'm not dissing you. I swear. But it's a perfect example. Marshawn Lynch didn't need to get the ball.
Right.
Let me explain. Chris Collinsworth goes, well, I don't know why they didn't run the ball. They got the best running back of the season. Well, Chris Collinsworth, I don't even fucking play football, or I don't even fucking commentate it. But let me tell you why, you sack of shit who was a receiver for the fucking Raiders and didn't do shit.
He plays for the Bears
He played for the Raiders.
and the Bears.
Oh, whatever. Didn't matter, right? I didn't even know that. Anyways, he said, why didn't they run the ball? I'll tell you why. I was watching the game and the Patriots were lined up in a run defense. They stacked the box hardcore.
like they were ready
And
for
their
it.
cornerback
But
of
see,
the
that's the line. They felt like they were ready for it.
right. So the Seahawks said, "Well, let's throw the ball." They're stacking the line. They know we're going to run the ball. Let's not. Perfect call. It's
audible,
okay.
yeah.
It's a good call. But for Chris Collinsworth to say, "What a bad call." No, you just made every average viewer think that was a bad call, which it wasn't. They were in a run defense. They were looking for the run. And you missed the part where the cornerback made a godlike defensive read for the pick. You missed that part. That guy doesn't even get credit for the pick. The only credit that was made is they didn't choose a run play.
The only
You're
other
all
thing too
fucking
is
idiots.
I was listening
Yeah,
to,
it's
and
stupid.
I'm a really big fan of Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless on Undisputed on Fox.
Right.
Like I really enjoy listening. Like I download their podcast and I listen to it almost every day. So Skip Bayless made a really good point when it came up to that. He was saying like a lot of people don't know this, but the last 6 times that the Seattle Seahawks were in the red zone, Marshawn Lynch is 0 for 6 in that season.
You just need to take the game and look at it for what it is. And you're reading defenses. You're not on the field, Chris Collinsworth, and you're commentating it wrong. You don't even know what a defense looks like. It's like fucking sucks.
He was on offense too.
And what blows my mind is I play Madden, and that's how I learn my defenses.
So here's the funny thing. I didn't even watch the play, and I just called it. Like if they're stacking in the box, it's like, well, why would you run it?
Yeah, you had every linebacker in the box plus 4 on the line.
That's
with
covering
man to man.
That's covering every
You
hole.
throw the
Yeah.
ball.
Yeah.
That's a
You
normal
throw an
call.
outright. An out,
A
an
down and out.
Right.
You throw an
And you
outright.
just didn't even give
Or-
credit to the guy who
yeah.
made the most amazing read of all time. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, football fucking sucks. It's so stupid. Also,
Chris Collinsworth is horrible. He
he's
really
so bad.
is the worst
During the Rams
commentator.
game, a dude from the Patriots got lit the fuck up. He caught the ball and got decleated for catching it. And they called a penalty because, you hit a defenseless receiver because he hadn't been an established
Yeah.
runner.
Yeah.
That super sucks.
So
You had the ball.
When-
You signed a contract saying, when I have the ball, I can get tackled.
Right.
But because he wasn't an established runner, so the defense has to run up to you and say, "Hey, can I tackle you now?
yeah, seriously. Do you have the ball?
Do you have the ball yet?"
Yeah.
And then so going back to Brady, everyone, I mean, weirdly, this has a lot to do with this Hollywood thing.
I swear, guys. I swear.
But all
circle.
going back to Brady, before I say this, I think Brady is a good quarterback.
He's talented,
I
yeah.
think he knows the game.
He's amazing for being a 6th round draft pick.
He's a 6th round draft pick. You cannot tell me he is the luckiest sumbitch to get on the team with Bill Belichick. You cannot tell me that's not
And
the
Drew Bledsoe getting injured.
And you are so lucky.
He's the
So for that being said, I think he's a good player.
Luckiest.
I think he has a good mindset. I think he understands the game. But if you put him on the Oakland Raiders,
No way.
he is trash.
Yeah.
He is absolute trash. And my best example of all time, and everyone seems to ignore it,
Is Matt Castle?
When Matt Castle took the lead. Game 1, I will tell you, game 1, play number 4, the 4th play of the game against Kansas City. Fucking Brady gets hurt with a knee injury, out for the season. Matt Castle takes the helm of the ball as the lead quarterback who hadn't even took a snap since high school. He sat the bench. He sat the bench during college as a fucking viewer. He watched and somehow
warmed it up.
made it to an NFL team of the Patriots. With Bill Belichick and that O-line, who's the most godlike O-line I have seen for the past 12 years. They have never been more stable than any other
Was it the
O-line.
08 year?
Oh, dude, since 2002, they've been godlike. And Matt Castle, but yeah, I think it was 09 actually.
Oh, yeah,
09,
yeah.
when Matt Castle took the helm, and he won 11 games. They were 11-5, right? And happened to miss the playoffs because their division was so good. Matt Castle, who hadn't played a game since high school, won 11 fucking games.
Never taken.
That's
a snap.
insane.
His
It's
whole college
fucking
career.
crazy, and no one talks about
Wow.
it because they want to jack off to Brady's face and his fucking perfect jawline. Now,
That's actually really good.
the same
That's a good
year,
point.
the same year,
Really
the
good
same
point.
year, Manning, the other great, Peyton Manning, the other one who's alongside Brady to arguably be the other great one, who's better, who knows, gets hurt.
You mean
On
Aaron
the s-
Rodgers?
No, fuck off. Peyton Manning got hurt with a neck injury, had to get surgery. He was out for the season. Painter, I think his name was Matt Painter. I don't know, it might be Matt, but I'm not sure. Painter was the lead quarterback for the Colts that season. He won 2 games. Now you're telling me that Brady's better than Manning? Dog shit. Absolute dog shit. Manning doesn't have as many Super Bowls. No, because he didn't have as
Did
good
you say
coaching
Peyton
staff.
is better than Manning?
Yes, Peyton Manning. No, oh,
You said Brady's
sorry. Peyton Manning is better than Brady because he was the helm of that team. He led the team. He knew what he was doing. He was the captain and the coach in one.
Right.
He led the whole team. He won Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl with them. He went to the playoffs numerous times. Yes, they lost in the playoffs because I don't think their O-line was as good. Their coaching staff wasn't as good. The receivers weren't as good. 2 games without Manning, 11 games without Brady.
Which brings us to the ultimate question: who are we going to cast as Batman?
Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning, baby. Let's go.
Here's my thought about DC. Okay, since we've been
Dude, I
talking
went
about
so
that
hard on
stuff.
that
That was great,
tangent.
though.
But I had to.
I wanted to hear that recorded because I've been wanting to have that.
Yeah, I've
recorded.
never recorded that. That was a first. I was
I'm
told
gonna put
to
that on our opinioneering thing. Like, hey, we're sports nerds too.
But I mean, is that not
There you
true?
go.
Does that not sound legitimate?
No, that's perfect.
Convinced me. I was like, holy shit!
Yeah,
Wow.
I didn't even know about it. That's why
I
was
think
like,
Brady's good.
fascinating.
That's okay. Manning's better.
great.
Just saying.
here's-
Manning was better. He retired now. Good job. Thanks for the Super Bowl, Manning. It wasn't you who helped us, but
We know you listen.
thanks, bud.
Yeah.
I feel like the DC or just Warner Brothers themselves, they don't have a quarterback.
Oh shit, we're connecting the dots. Connect the dots.
To drive the
Yeah.
thing. They didn't have the right coaching
Right.
to fucking.
They need a Bill
direct the ship,
Belichick,
right?
dude.
And
They need a Bill
they
Belichick.
do.
And they
you
need a
that quarterback
fucking
like
Matt
Kevin
Castle.
Feige,
Yes.
right?
The same Bill Belichick that gave up 41 points in a Super Bowl.
Ouch.
Oh, I don't know which Super Bowl you talking about.
The last one.
The last one was the Rams, and
Okay,
it was only
sorry.
13
Excuse me.
points.
The one last year.
Oh, against Eagles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean that was a close game, wasn't it? That was like relatively
Well,
close.
yeah, because Tom Brady brought him back. To
That's fair.
37 points.
Okay, did I say Tom Brady was bad?
No, I'm just saying
No.
that it was because Belichick, but Belichick gave up 41 points in the Super Bowl.
Right, no one's perfect. But I mean, also Belichick has remind me, 6 Super Bowl rings.
How much does Brady have?
6,
Yeah.
the tied for the most of all time with the kicker who was on the Patriots.
Adam
And Brady,
Vinatieri?
Brady has been to more Super Bowls than any team in history. He's been to 9.
yeah.
He's been to 9 Super Bowls. And the tied teams together as a franchise is the Steelers, the Broncos, and the Cowboys, who have all been to 8.
Yeah.
So you can't fuck me on my fucking football facts because I used to like the sport.
You can do that
So
with
wait,
me.
why
with,
do you not like it anymore?
Everything
because
I
the
just said.
commentators, everything
I just said.
Oh,
It
the
sucks,
money
dude.
involved, the commentators.
The
it's
money,
fucking
the
stupid.
commentators, the rule set, everyone
fair,
just
yeah.
fucks each other saying, well, did you hear what the commentator said?
Well,
yeah,
so-
did you even watch the game?
So I was gonna say, like, even if you watch videos from way back in the day, like the 70s, 80s, 90s, it's like that's football.
Right. Dude,
They
the
hit
Iron
each other,
Curtain.
you know?
Defenses were the helm of football.
Yep.
The Iron Curtain with the Steelers, dude. The Bears, one of the best defenses of all time. It was where it was at.
Yep.
You wanted to see people getting fucking decleated for grabbing the football.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's like, I want to see 40 points. That's why, okay, I'm very upset the Patriots won the Super Bowl. I really wanted the Rams to win.
Right.
They did not show up. They played like crap.
Yeah.
But you can't say it was boring because there were no points on the board.
No,
It was the
a
best
game.
defensive
That's the thing,
game
yeah.
I have seen in a long time.
Yeah.
The defense
Low
was
scoring
on.
football.
Yeah, low scoring Super Bowl. Right. The defense was on par. You got to see good, clean defense,
Yeah.
which is hard to come by
Especially
because if you
nowadays.
touch a dude in his ass, you get a penalty flag.
Flag.
So will I say it was
Why?
a boring Super Bowl?
Inappropriate
No.
groping. That's
It was not a
3-11.
boring Super Bowl. Yeah, it wasn't boring,
that-
but it was hard to watch because unfortunately we had to see Brady winning again.
Yeah, exactly.
And it sucks. It sucks to say, yeah, man, I don't want to see Brady win anymore. But it's like I get it. You know, it's what it is.
Did you
It's
see
just
that one play, Colton, where
money?
it was a defense guy? He kind of grabbed the offensive guy almost by the
Who was it with the Rams versus? It was the Rams on defense.
yeah.
Aaron Donald.
I think, yeah, or something like that.
Was it like the
It
pass
was-
interference call?
You know,
Was it a
it
pass
was
interference
close to
call?
being like a cowboy collar kind of grab.
Like
Oh yeah.
It's funny because all my coworkers are just like, "Oh, that's a flag," and I'm like, "Let him play football.
well, let me be real with this too.
Why not?
Oh god.
It's almost like a clothesline."
When people are like, "Oh, they should have called holding," dude, there's holding on every play.
Yeah, it's true.
There's holding on
It's just who
every
sees
play.
it.
It's every time. Just like basketball. Just
Oh,
traveling all the
All the
time.
time.
You're not allowed to call
There's
that.
actually a
Because
new rule now that like that first step, I think.
it's like once they call traveling, then you're mad. Like, that's bullshit.
It's so weird.
Let him run 5 steps. Everyone does it. You know what I mean? It's like,
I think it's like 4 or 5 now. Like there's like that first initial step, which is like the
Yeah.
zero
It's not
step.
counted as a step. or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
It's
not
really
counted as a
stupid.
step,
I mean, it's the
and
same
then you still
thing.
have
Dumb.
that 3. I'm just like,
it's just so.
what?
Let me somehow tie this into our movie idea. The idea that
will work.
you could just let shit get away, right? Like, oh, we're not going to call that because the fans want it,
Right.
right? It comes back to Hollywood where they're like,
Stupid.
it's almost steering away from the fans. We're gonna do this because the fans pay for it unknowingly.
Right.
That's what they're gonna
Or
get.
better yet, we're going to do whatever we want because we know the fans are going to pay for it.
We're gonna
Right,
watch.
right, right.
So when I watch football, I'm like, wow, dude, they got me. I watched and I listened to Chris Collinsworth fucking spit on the microphone for
Why
2
would
hours.
they throw the ball?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, dude, bring back John Madden where he just pointed the obvious out. I enjoyed that better. You know what I mean?
So, okay.
They really need to get a touchdown here,
Let's
Mike.
bring it back. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. That's gonna be like a one shot. Colton rants on the NFL.
Dude, just watch hockey, bro.
just ran on everything.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I had to say what I
That's a
say.
good one shot of a
Yeah.
sport.
Maybe
Gotta
I'm
get out,
not.
man. Gotta get out.
Maybe
get
someone
out of
will trump me, and I don't know what I'm talking about, but I think I do. So fuck
wrong.
it.
I mean, once in a while we have
Wrong.
our Costco rants.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Costco,
look
dude,
at
chocolate
this.
muffins, dude.
Shit. So for
Croissants.
DC, I somewhat agree with you guys in terms of I do think they need to slow down a bit. I don't think they should necessarily stop because I think right now they're riding the wave of Aquaman, and I think what's going to happen is this.
I like that one.
I
Yeah,
think
it was a good pun.
Right? Right the way
I think
Aquaman.
since next
Puntastic.
year, or actually this year, they have Shazam, which is coming out in April, and they have, I believe, Joker comes first. This weird Joker movie,
Oh,
and then I
God.
think
Don't get me started on that
Wonder Woman 1984 comes.
Yeah.
So you have 3 movies. I think what's
Well,
going to happen
the
is
Joker
that
movie is an offshoot
Right,
alternate
yeah.
world.
it's its own thing. It's
Yeah.
not really connected to anything.
Yeah,
I think
it's-
right now they're trying
It's
to.
in a world called fucking retarded. But
I forget what it was.
Joker
I don't know
world.
what it was. But
something.
I think what's going to happen is that probably 2020 is when everything's just going to be like, we're just going to do our own world. We're not going to focus on trying to connect everything. And then the low-key retcon of everything will be Matt Reeves, the Batman.
Yeah.
I think
And
that's so.
from
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
I think from there, from that point, they're still going to keep Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. They're still going to keep Jason
No.
Momoa.
No.
I feel like they're going to keep him.
I don't think so.
I
Jason
think so.
Momoa, you don't think so?
I think they're going to keep him.
Interesting.
And then from Matt Reeves' Batman, they're gonna start doing their own like, okay, this is our foundation.
It's like when you have a new girlfriend, but you still want to be friends with your old
Right.
girlfriend.
True.
Why?
But they did that with
And then the
with,
new girlfriend's
Rhodey.
like, yeah, no.
Freaking who was the first row? Who was the first?
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
Don Cheadle was the
Don
Yeah.
Cheadle as Terrence
Don
Howard.
Cheadle, yeah.
Yeah, but they already said that the new Bat Reeves
Oh, it's not
Batman.
gonna be Ben Affleck. Yeah.
It's not gonna be Ben Affleck,
no.
but
It's gonna be
it's
someone
not in the same universe.
No, it's not in the same universe.
But then
I
you're
think,
bringing
like,
the Jason Momoa and Gal Gadot from this universe.
I feel like they're gonna do some weird thing, which DC always does with their multiverse and all that shit. And they're gonna try to connect everything once like this whole thing is like settled down.
I've always said
Different
it. I have
dimensions.
always
Yeah.
said it, and I say if DC called me up today, which DC, if you're listening, fucking call me because I can fix your shit. Quite
Your
literally,
phone rings
I
right
could
now.
I
Call
could
Danny.
fix
What's his
your
phone number?
shit.
Dude, 661
992.
281 330. That's
no,
actually Mike Jones.
That's
no.
Rick James, bitch.
No, it's Mike Jones, dude. The 281 330 8004. Hit Mike Jones up on the low. Dude.
No, here's how they can fix this shit. Quite honestly, right here. This is how they do it.
You got to give them your number so they call you. So you.
I can't. I'm not gonna do it because it's recording.
Yeah.
If here and
Is
there.
that recording?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
The whole time.
Dude, I didn't know that.
Yeah. No, they just have it there to be cool.
Dude,
So your rant was filmed.
Oh, yeah.
dude.
Send
Fuck.
me that.
Dude, send that shit to Brady. Matt Castle's like, he's fucking right.
Here's how they do it. Here's how they do it. Here's how they fix everything. And here's how they one up Marvel.
In 2 words?
Here we go.
No, it's not 2 words.
Let me hear this.
It's going to be a little bit.
Is this like my rant?
No.
They were
It's
in
not
a,
gonna
they
be
were in a
rant.
run defense.
Create.
Iron Curtain.
If they make Matt Reeves Batman. Okay, and that's slated for 2021?
2021 for now, yeah.
Okay. They can do this before, or this could be the movie that at the end they hint at it. Okay? Ooh, hello. So Marvel said, here's Cap, here's Iron Man, here's Hulk, here's this, and then let's make them into a team-up movie, right? DC did something weird ass shit, and then they said, here's what our goal is. We have Avengers 1, Phase 1, Avengers 2, Phase 2, Avengers Infinity War, 3, and so on and so forth, correct? Or Civil War, Phase 3, and then so on and so forth.
Right.
Either use Matt Reeves' Batman as him as a great detective, because they've already said that they want to go back to like a murder mystery type thing as a detective. Make Batman the greatest detective as there's something wrong in this world, something's happening that's outside of what's going on in the normal elemental world, okay? And then what they say, and it ends up being, is an older, and this is one, not Batman Return, The Dark Knight Returns, storyline, which only a few select people loved, and it was made for the times, like Jason was saying, that it should have stayed there. But there was a comic book line that everyone loved, and it's the one where Barry died. Crisis on Infinite Earths.
That's the one I was thinking.
And what they do is they create the old Batman, not the old Batman, the Ben Affleck Batman, keep him, keep Henry Cavill for one more movie, keep everyone in the DCEU on for one more movie, but cross streams over from CW's Flash and Arrow and get all of them. The same Deadshot from Arrow, the Deadshot with Will Smith.
Right.
Put them all in one giant-ass 2-part fucking movie. Crisis on Infinite Earths. You do that, retcon it at the end, the universe restarts, Matt Reeves kicks it off.
Done. Sold.
Dude, that's
Easy.
what I've
Done.
been saying. I
You
wish
beat
Marvel would do.
Yeah,
Marvel
I wish
didn't
Marvel
cross
would
over.
do that.
Marvel didn't do that.
Why
Marvel
won't
stuck
they? It
DC.
blows my mind.
Marvel kept movies with movies and television with television. But then Agents of Shield, and maybe a little bit.
Weird,
Maybe a little bit, but no, not really. No. Warner Brothers owns CW, has a huge part about it. They can do this. Crisis on Infinite Earths, you have two. They
own everything,
They
too.
own everything.
Right, I know.
You have 2 Flashes. You have 2 Deadshots. You have 2 of everything, and they're looking at each other face to face. And people already love the Flash show, the Arrow show, the Supergirl show, Arrowverse. Everyone loves all this shit.
No, well, let's just scrap the DC movies and let's stick to TV.
Yeah.
Well, that's
But
what I wish
create one
DC
giant
well,
movie.
No, I wish Marvel would do, dude. When I was watching like the fucking, I did not watch Daredevil season 3. I know, fuck.
Oh god, it was so good.
I need to, but I've watched season
Oh,
1.
good.
I watched season 1 and 2. Watched Luke Cage. Watched Jessica Jones, and I was like, dude, why can't these characters be in Infinity War for even 5 seconds?
Yes.
Because I know he knows. And Schaff knows, but I'm a fan alongside with our buddy Schaff. I am such a fan of just characters even talking to each other. Just being in the same room blows my mind. It's so cool.
I mean, go to YouTube. You'll see it all the time.
Fuck you. Anyways,
That's the rumor about what Disney Plus wants to do.
just get everyone together.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool. When
Because
I can
they have
see
suddenly a platform where they can actually connect things through streaming instead of being like, go over here.
When
go over
Rocket
here.
Raccoon,
Well, Disney out since they took out Fox.
Yeah.
Oh, right,
owns
like
the
when Rocket
biggest of
Raccoon-
Hulu.
All of it. So
right, Rocket Raccoon could have a conversation with Spider-Man. That to me is the coolest fucking thing.
Right.
I just want to see these characters talk to each other.
Yeah.
That's all I care about. It's so cool to me. I don't even want a fight scene.
Because that's
just
the next
have them in
generation.
the
What we're
same-
talking about, the CW, the whole DC universe. If Marvel can do that with the streaming platform, that's huge because nobody's done anything like
And
that.
like you know the money's there. What's wrong with crossovers? Why can't you do it? Oh, it's too much money to have all these actors. No, shut the hell up, dude. You can get anybody you want, and you know it.
Yeah.
You're
Well, how cool would it be? Because obviously,
That'd be so
are you a
so
fan
good.
of the Flash television show?
Yeah.
Okay, and Arrow. Okay, I was a fan of.
Wait, you watch all of Arrow?
No, I've only watched up
dude.
to season
I did.
3.
Good job. Good job, dude.
Arrow's Batman.
Wow, I cut
Yeah,
off
Arrow
quick.
season 3, Arrow season 4. That's what I was all about,
I
right?
don't even know what
love
season I
that.
stopped. Wait, what
Nah, it's
was
still going.
What was the season with fuck, I've been drinking. Remind me, please. Not Deadshot. Not Deadshot.
Season 2?
Oh, Deathstroke.
Deathstroke.
That's season 2, dude.
God.
That was amazing.
No, that was great. I stopped afterwards.
Yeah, after
it was
that,
so
that Ra's al
bad.
Ghul and
was-
his
It's Batman.
and his tip and well, yeah. Here's the thing, but Batman didn't lose against Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah,
That's
see,
very
that's the
rare.
thing. I was like,
Yeah, Jason always calls Green Arrow Batman Light,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
Bud Light.
It was.
Yeah.
But here's
Nice.
the thing:
Dude,
is that
Coors Light?
how cool would it
Yeah.
be to see Stephen Amell and Grant Gustin on the giant screen in cool, updated costumes with a big budget, and seeing at the end of Crisis on Infinite Earths have your original people, but do it well. Have Ben Affleck have all of them. That's fine, and try and do it better.
dude, it'd
but at
be
the
fucking
end, a fucking
amazing.
portal opens up, and all the television people walk through and said, "Let's do
Amazing.
this."
Yes,
That'd be
perfect.
amazing.
Sold. Done.
Yeah,
That'd be
everyone would be
amazing.
like, because now you get the television people that are
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Oh!"
Yeah,
and they
right.
all come out and watch it.
And all of the viewership goes up because you have
Oh, yeah,
television,
yeah,
you have
yeah,
this, you have this.
Yeah, and even on the TV series, you can be leading up to that, dropping
Yeah.
hints,
Oh, yeah,
little
yeah,
Easter
yeah.
eggs
Oh,
all
yeah.
the way around. And then now it all culminates into
Yes.
a 2-part, 2.5-hour movies, which are 5 hours long, and you
Yes.
can execute this shit.
Well, it's also
yeah.
like
That's
the
how
feeling
you fix it.
got it
That's
when
how you
Marvel
fix
was
it.
like, are they going to do this? Are they really going to do this? They're going to make a movie with all of them. I've never seen any of that.
Yeah.
This whole thing with like the DC universe,
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
television and into like, oh, it'd be so awesome.
See, that's I love that idea. Not gonna happen.
yeah.
No, hell no,
Not
it's not going to
gonna
happen.
happen, yeah.
You know why?
Which is-
Because they're idiots and they're not fans.
Mm-hmm.
And fans with Crisis. But here's the thing: is that this season they already did a Crisis on Infinite Earths on the show, didn't they?
They not the, well.
Or
they
is this
did-
coming
they
up
did
season?
Something Crisis.
Yeah.
This coming
This
next
coming up season, they're doing
it's gonna
that.
be- yeah, they are
Which-
doing Infinite Crisis.
Yeah,
Or not
they-
Infinite Crisis. Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah, Crisis on Infinite Earths. If they do that and cross it over with the movies,
So,
Oh, yeah.
it fixes everything.
Yeah.
It fixes everything. It's
Reset.
not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But that's exactly how it happened, and people would be out of their fucking minds because people were watching the television series, and people are okay. It serves both demographics. The people that are like Ben Affleck,
Yeah.
you know, and love him, and I enjoy Henry Cavill as Superman. I think he's actually a really good one. They just didn't execute Superman properly, except for Man of Steel, which is him in his elemental stage in his like early development as like trying to figure himself out. They should have made him full of hope and everything. What Wonder Woman was afterwards, but. You get all you have your cake and eat it too. You have these fans that are like Frank Miller and Ben Affleck, and they love it. But then you also have these television series people, and they love it. And then you appease the comic book fans by saying we're doing Crisis on Infinite Earths because the equivalent of Crisis on Infinite Earths is Infinity War.
Oh, yeah.
That's the equivalent because they came out in around the same exact time.
Right.
So DC's answer to Infinity War is Crisis on Infinite Earths done correctly.
Correctly, yeah.
And they're not going to do that. But with Matt,
Unfortunately.
going back to Matt Reeves' Batman, I want Batman to be a detective again because he hasn't been a detective ever.
Right.
Like a true, honest, true blue detective. He has not.
Right.
Ever in the DC cinematic universe. From West to today. He has not been. But I heard something of a fan saying this is who they want to cast. And at first I was like, that's absolute fucking bullshit. I never want to see that again. And then I started thinking about it. And I kind of like it. Robert Pattinson.
It's been going around.
As Batman?
Why do you like it?
Wayne.
Fucking Twilight guy?
Here's the thing.
See, that's what
That's what everyone goes to. And that's
yeah.
what I did. I was like, fucking Twilight guy? Fucking Cedric Diggory? What the hell? Harry Potter.
I got it.
Right?
Yeah.
I got it.
So,
He died.
Twilight came
Spoiler.
out in 2005, 2006.
Something around.
I mean,
It's been
I
14
like
years.
Twilight. I mean, I've had my own rant about Twilight.
I mean,
and
his
Oh,
acting
Twilight's
was-
fucking stupid. Like, that's
What
one
a
of the
vampire
crossovers
shit.
I
His
wanted.
acting was
The
bad.
crossover I wanted to see, like in our previous episode, I wanted to see Blade and Twilight.
Ooh.
What? So you can just see him slaughter a bunch of
pretty much.
fucking
Yeah.
pretty boys?
So that's what I wanted to see.
Oh,
but you
But
look
they
at him,
shine in the sun!
but you see that and it's like, that's stupid. Was it Robert Pattinson's choice? No, that was E.L. Stone, whatever the writer was. That was her decision. Making him a pretty boy bitch, that was the director's decision. Robert Pattinson, we only want to associate shit with the people that we see on screen. Is he a horrible actor? If you watch that, there was a movie called like Elephants, like something of elephants, and it was like he was like a boy taking over his
Robert.
Robert Pattinson. It was something about elephants. It was a boy taking over his dad's circus or some shit like that.
Right.
It wasn't a bad movie. It was actually pretty good. He's not a horrible actor.
he's not.
Now, he has this emo sense about him, which Bruce needs to have. He needs to have that jawline, which Robert Pattinson has. He needs to have some type of not weirdness, the social awkwardness. And I think Bruce, and that's why people say Bruce Wayne is actually the mask and Batman is actually his core. So this social awkwardness of Bruce Wayne, and he has to overcome that, I think Robert Pattinson would actually not be that bad. Because it's been 14 years after the first movie was made. When that movie got made, he was like, what, 21, 20 years old? He's in his 30s.
Here's my thing,
mid-30s.
Here's my thing on that, though, real quick.
I'm saying I'm open to that idea. I'm actually
fine.
not bad about that.
Same.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Dye his hair black?
No, but
Buff him up?
let me say this real quick. When Ben Affleck was cast as Batman,
Horrible.
everyone said the same thing about when they were like, what about he sucked in Daredevil? And everyone said, yeah, but that was forever ago.
No, but here's
Oh, boy.
Like, as a litmus test,
Oh,
what do you
boy.
guys think of Christian Bale as Batman then?
See, I thought he was a really good Batman.
I mean, it was cool.
hold on, here's the thing. Batman is a multi-leveled character in and of itself. Has one person embodied that to the fullest extent? Yes, Kevin Conroy in the animated series. I really think that was the best depiction of Batman and Bruce Wayne. The secondary to that, Christian Bale played a perfect Bruce Wayne as this aloof, not caring, multimillionaire playboy. As in The Dark Knight, when he's like, she was going to come with me, Alfred. When after Rachel dies, he's like, she was going to come with me.
Right.
This guy who sulks in his tower and says, woe is me, and Alfred has to pull him out of his depths. That aspect is perfect. Everyone gripes on the voice. Again, that's not his choice. That was Christopher Nolan's choice, which that's the one minutia point of BVS that I actually liked was the voice augmentator. Like, that was actually good. But come on, guys. The first one came out in, what, 2005, 2006? 13, 14 years ago? Like, that's fucking horrible. Like, it's a long-ass time ago.
Right.
Like, if you would think about other movies that were coming out in that time frame, it was actually a good choice.
Right.
So I think my favorite actor alive today is Anthony Hopkins. But second to that is Christian Bale. I love Christian Bale. I'm really a big fan. I think he's the best Batman hands down. Because he depicted Bruce Wayne, he depicted Batman as a sulky person, and he depicted Batman as anger and rage to a point that he has questions within himself of how far can I go? And that's what part 2 asks those questions. And Alfred says, endure. How long, Alfred? Whatever it takes. It meddled into the psychology of Batman. You can't just say Batman is angry. Why? Because Jason Todd died a long time ago. You're a fucking
God.
idiot.
And his parents.
And his parents, yeah. In Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Returns, or The Dark Knight, those three, did he ever mention his parents? No. You moved on. And he overcome and he said, I know what that is, and I'm going to become something better. Now, in fucking BVS, let's see the pearls again.
The bouncing pearls,
let's see it
baby.
all over again. And it's like,
Bring them back.
This man, if he uses a tenth of his strength, you're a fucking idiot. And this is my big gripe with Jeff Johns. Jeff Johns and Dan Didio have gone on record by saying that their favorite is not the Bat Family. Dan Didio hates, mind you, he did not use the word hate, but every chance he has gotten, he has tried to kill Nightwing because he does not like Nightwing. He does not like the Bat Family. And so they do not like them. So when you make Batman secondary to what his core is the greatest detective, and he's aware of his surroundings, and he's the greatest detective and ninja, and all around the peak of human mental and body physical prowess to the top pinnacle. But then Lex Luthor can pick his pockets in Forever Evil. I'm sorry, Jeff fucking Johns, you're an idiot. No, that would not happen. No. Forever Evil was absolutely fucking stupid. And everyone's like, Jeff Johns as well. Jeff Johns is an amazing writer. I love him in Green Lantern. I want Aquaman. He did really good in the New 52 Aquaman.
Okay.
That was really good. Yeah,
that was really good. Jeff Johns, or the Justice League Origins. But as him doing Batman or Jeff Johns, he recycles all his stories. So Infinite Crisis, he wrote that one too. The same exact story, beat for beat, in Infinite Crisis is exactly what Forever Evil is, just in a New 52 scene.
Wow. Okay.
So he didn't really write everything new. Everyone's like, I love Forever Evil. I'm like, really? Have you read Infinite Crisis? No. It's the same exact fucking story, dude. Like, the big bad is Alexander Luthor from World 3. Right. Ah, you're an idiot. You're not a true fan. Get the fuck out of here. Which, I'm not going to be like Colton that's like, you're not a true Blizzard fan, so shut the fuck up.
Hey, that's behind. hey, whoa. That's behind the scenes.
Too early?
So yeah, too late. So all I'm saying is, I think when you say no, Ben Affleck, and you asked, did you like Christian Bale? I think Christian Bale and what Christopher Nolan did is said, Batman is not just Batman. Batman is Bruce Wayne. Batman is Batman. Batman is a man who goes through these levels of depression and levels of trying to figure it out. And his beacon of hope is always and will always be Alfred. I think Jeremy Irons was a perfect casting for Alfred. I absolutely love, because Alfred in his early days was actually not a KGB, was a spy for His Royal Majesty's Art Affairs, right? He was a spy in England, right? He was a badass. Jeremy Irons is a badass.
The Lion and the Unicorn, fighting for the crown.
Yes, there you go. But also, there's Scott Snyder wrote in All-Star Batman called The First Ally, and the Dark Knight, the very first Dark Knight in canon for the Rebirth is actually Alfred, because there's the White Knight, and then he was actually a knight. Not the Round Table, but he was knighted by the Queen or something like that, and he was of a Black Ops, so he was known as the Black Knight. So Alfred's actually the original Black Knight in this new Rebirth world. I thought that was amazing. I thought that was actually really cool. And they made Alfred a badass. Jeremy Irons was great, as he should be. He should be a badass, but always pointing Bruce north. Right. And Michael Caine did a great job in saying, "I failed you. I failed your parents." It did psychological things. Superman, give me hope. Give me the horns. Give me that score that makes me want to soar above the mountains and do everything that they did not do. That they only did that in Man of Steel. It was like bum, and that's on my workout mix. I have that song when he takes flight for the first time. It's fucking amazing. It was a great score, amazing score. But in these new movies, they didn't. They steered away from all of that. And I think, in my opinion, Christian Bale is the best. After that is probably Michael Keaton.
There you go.
And then after that is probably
George Clooney.
No, top is Kevin Conroy. Kevin Conroy, hands down, is probably
Val Kilmer,
Kevin Conroy, Christian Bale, Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, Adam West, George Clooney. That's my ranking.
Dude, George Clooney had bat nipples, bro.
So did Kilmer.
Right, but Clooney's were like bat nipples. Like
the nipples were shaped as bats.
They were like fucking like.
Who was yours, Rich? What's your ranking of Batman?
I didn't get to as far as casting wise goes, but I have been seeing Robert Pattinson come around like the internet, and I'm like,
a lot of people want Charlie Cox as well.
I heard that.
Huh? I can see that.
I also saw a list of Robbie Amell on there too.
Dude, let's just get, while we're all on it, you guys love it, dude. Let's just get fucking Tom Cruise, man. Fuck it, dude.
He's in line for. You heard that one? He's supposed to be in line for like Green Lantern.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah, he's in line now. Well, actually, the two.
He was supposed to be Iron Man.
He was supposed to be Iron Man.
Crazy.
He was supposed to be Iron Man. The person right now that took the lead in Green Lantern was Zac Efron as a Kyle Rayner,
which is interesting.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
You will?
I won't.
Zac Efron as Kyle Rayner. Kyle Rayner.
Oh, Zac Efron
as Kyle Rayner.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Dude, he's got the bod.
Yeah, he's got the bod. He's got the quirkiness about him.
He's got the personality of it.
Well, who's your favorite Bat?
My favorite Bat, it was definitely Christian Bale.
Yeah.
And then the ones that you said.
Yeah.
Everything after that.
Yeah. No, believe it or not, because I've actually had the same list. I was like, yeah, I don't have like a 3 or anything like that, but it was definitely Christian Bale, then Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
So
Kevin Conroy is the greatest, and the greatest Joker. Ooh, Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill, dude.
Mark
That's the
Hamill and
voice.
Heath
Yeah.
Ledger.
Mark
Like,
Hamill,
fuck,
baby.
dude, those.
Well, we always make a joke. Well, I make a joke where I'm like, you know what you need to do if you want like some type of cameo? Just have a shadow or somebody dressed in a bat.
With Mark Hamill's voice?
Not Mark Hamill's, Kevin Conroy's voice.
Oh, the bat. I'm
You're
sorry.
just in the shadow speaking, and you're just like, I know who that is. Like,
Yeah.
and you don't have to have somebody cast. It's just a shadow.
Well, if they did that in Titans, that would have been great. But Titans was a fucking train wreck. Did you guys watch Titans?
No.
Rich
Oh,
did.
remember?
I haven't seen
Okay,
it.
real quick. We're like, oh yeah, we all watched 3 episodes, and we're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch more and see where it goes. I haven't watched any more.
I watched a couple more.
Do you still have the service?
Yeah, dude, still on.
Wow, really?
Well, it's because I watched like the anime series. Like just this morning, I was watching the anime series with my son.
Oh, okay.
So it's not. I don't watch it for Titans. Fuck no. I watch it for the animated series, the cartoons, all that kind of
It's all
stuff.
there.
Yeah, and my son loves them, so I have to keep it for the kiddos, kind of thing. But so Superman, any Batman casting? What do you guys thoughts? Charlie Cox is one. Robert Pattinson's one. They have to go younger, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Late 20s, early 30s.
Like that,
Ben
yeah.
Barnes is being thrown around also too.
Yeah,
I
there
read
is
that
Ben
one.
Barnes being thrown around.
I'd like an unknown, somebody that's completely unknown that you don't already has like a stigma around him. Like I get Robert Pattinson, but I think something like the Heath Ledger, where you're kind of like, oh, is he that good, or is he gonna bring it? I think he can, but I'm already like, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really worried about the future of DC. And then the comic books, they just laid off 35% like their workforce. It was very bad. Like a lot of my favorite writers that I follow on Twitter, they were like giving shout outs like, "Hey man, to the greatest editor." Right? Like they get rid of editors and all that kind of stuff because the comic book shop that actually we're going to after this, Horizon Comics, Roger was telling me like, sales has dropped for DC because they went away from what Rebirth was.
Right.
They've traveled away from that. Are they still better than Marvel? Yes. But it's not. The margin has dropped considerably between
that gets
Marvel
loaded
and
also
DC.
too, because then you start talking about like electronic publications and how are people consuming their media, and are they consuming individual comic books, or are they actually consuming graphic novels, or are people even going to comic book stores? Like comic book stores are, man,
They're few and far in between.
yeah, it's so hard to find a good comic book store. I mean, there's some out here in the AV, but if you go like down below, man, you gotta go out of your way to find.
Yeah,
a good
I don't
comic
think
book
there's
store.
a good. I don't think comic book stores right now are singular. I don't think you have a comic book store. You'll have a nerd store where you have like D&D,
Right.
Pokemon, Magic, cards, all that stuff, and then you have comics there
Right.
as well.
Yeah.
You have to be more because of what's happening in the DC universe, which you buy and then you get some comics, and then you also have the digital format. I know I still get trades and I still get the singles on the ones that I want to watch, but comic book stores still sell the graphic novels, so they still reap the benefits of the cost for that. What DC the streaming system should have been was a way of generating more fans and that fan base pushing them back to the DC universe. So if on the app you had, remember we talked about this with Wolfcast, if on that app you had like find your local comic book shop here,
Right.
and it pushed you to there, or the comic book shop saying, hey, you just bought this, here's a special code to try it out for free for 2 weeks.
Right. More
Come back.
promotion for the base fan base, right? Like for the baseline of where everything started, more promotion for that.
And then that cycle. But they didn't do that.
Yeah.
And it just really sucks. And then but I'm really bummed. I liked Henry Cavill as Superman.
So did I.
That's just rude. Real quick, what time is it?
Time for you to get a watch, bro.
You got 8? Oh
soon,
shit, guys.
so-
It's 8:00.
Guys,
Wow.
Colton's NFL rant went a little bit too long.
No,
What?
that's fine.
Don't
That was
blame
perfect.
me.
That
Hey,
was great.
you know what, dude?
That was great.
Fuck that.
That was great.
Yeah, but Danny's touching your leg, so you're good.
It's okay, dude. Danny touched my leg all the time.
Yeah. I've touched his legs with my legs.
Hey.
Whoa.
Well, thank you, Danny and Colton.
Yeah, man.
Dude.
Dude, thanks for us getting drunk and ranting
dude.
on your show.
Yeah, dude.
I'm down to do this again with you guys
Oh,
sometime in the not too distant
absolutely.
future.
Schedule.
Yeah, dude.
Everything
We're
is
down.
busy.
And next time, we're going to put duct tape over our mouths. So you guys can,
Yeah, I feel like I just spit a bunch of bullshit.
well,
No,
dude,
no,
the
no,
best
man.
is when someone's like right in the
bullshit,
peak
dude.
between drunk and buzz, and they're like, let me tell you
Let me go on
Here we
about
go.
something.
Here we go. Where can the awesome people find you guys?
Awesome people can find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and on Buzzsprout.
Not
There we go.
feed.
Yeah, not
There we
feed. No, Buzzsprout.
What?
I know, right?
Bleep that out.
We are part of the Little Fellow Media Podcast Network.
Yes.
You can go check out shows there of the Opinioneers, also the Magecast, which they talk about video games, also Cake Bites, which is esports, also Tasty, which is about foods. There's a lot of different shows on the Little Fellow Media Podcast Network, and we are sponsored by Buzzsprout. So if you would like Spotify, Buzzsprout, Apple iTunes, also go to at Opinioneering on Facebook and Instagram, and also Twitch, The Opinioneers, at The Opinioneers.
Yes.
You'll watch Colton and me probably start playing Apex now because he just
I'm
fucking...
gonna play Apex, dude. Please check out Twitch. You can also, if you like listening to us, come to Twitch. You can ask me any question about anything I've talked about on the show, and I will
NFL.
for sure talk about it.
Wow,
I
he's
will talk
playing.
about it. Ask me anything
There
you
we
want.
go.
I'll be live on Twitch sometimes with Danny, and I will talk about anything live with you right then and there.
There you
It's
go.
okay.
Dude, real quick, thank you all guys for 2 things. Being awesome.
Yes.
And that's just not just like
We're
being
awesome,
awesome. No, you guys came in. You guys, as a gift, brought us some whiskey because we know we love whiskey.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Brought us some whiskey, let us rant, asked your questions, dialogued with us, joked. Jason, there's very few. Jason is like a niche person, right?
Right,
He's a
right.
niche person that there's something because he's an older soul. That he like the video game second
Yeah.
whatever, and he's like, dude, like that happens few and far between.
Someone mentioned that.
And he gets
Yeah.
me in into certain animes and stuff like that. But he's into very niche. We call him a hipster before there was hipsters. So
Nice.
that's Jason. He
Yeah.
was watching anime before Toonami.
Right.
He was watching anime before it was even made.
Yeah.
He created anime.
See, we don't rant enough, so that's why when you guys were ranting, we were like, this is great.
Yeah,
This is change your pace.
Yeah, exactly.
This is change your pace.
You gotta rant.
We
You
rant.
gotta let it
Sometimes
loose.
you gotta go on the rant.
we
So
have rants, but not like 2 years.
Yeah.
thanks so much
I don't
for
know
being
how
awesome.
I don't know how you guys do it while you guys are drunk.
I don't know.
That's the only time. That's the only time you can do it.
Yeah.
Because
We don't do it,
We're
so-
super sober whenever we do it. So
Oh, yeah, we
watching,
just
we're
don't
like,
do it.
yes,
Or
okay.
using we're on coffee.
We're taking notes right now.
Yes,
That's what we're
yes.
doing.
Yeah, no, alcohol loosens you up.
The meta?
I
The
bet.
meta? Dude, the frame data?
No, dude, like alcohol is the key. Like I had dry January, and we recorded 2 episodes, and the most boring things ever. And usually in alcohol, because 1, you get on rants, 2, you get on bunny trails, and then you try and pull it all back together, and then you get jokes, and then you get people
absolutely.
just doing
Just
crazy
loose.
shit. But yeah, thank you guys for being awesome,
Appreciate
coming
it.
on, letting us coming onto your show, and
sure.
vice versa. I'm about to burp, but I'm trying to hold it back.
Yeah, dude.
Let's just do it.
Let's do it.
It's gone now. It's gone
We
now.
really do appreciate it. Please.
But thank
It's
you all
awesome.
so much for even driving out to the beautiful studio here at Lions Den Studios. If anyone's looking to
absolutely.
record, if you're an artist,
right.
band, or
Check 'em
anything, here at Lions Den Studios, look them up on Instagram and Facebook. Lions Den Studios.
I just had a dirty thought.
Here we
Sorry.
go.
That's okay.
Record, huh?
But yeah, thanks guys so much for
anytime.
being
You
chill
guys-
with us and not
Of course.
being.
We gotta bring a
dicks.
TV in here. We gotta bring a TV in here and fucking like play video games or something.
We've thought about running a tournament. In
We
here.
wanted to run a tournament.
Not
here
a
before.
tournament, just a TV, just to fucking have a TV in here and like.
Well, we're going to
Play
Horizon
video games.
Comics right afterwards. if you
really
want to
quick,
join us, yeah.
Before.
Yeah.
Who's
Yes.
the guy in the booth? What's his name?
That's Petey
Petey.
Lyons. Well, his
Petey.
name's Jason Lyons, but since there's 2 Jasons, we call him Petey.
Shout out to him, man.
Thanks,
He's being in the
Petey.
booth the whole time.
Yeah,
appreciate
Petey's
it.
in the booth.
All right,
Thank you,
just
Petey.
as a heads
Alright.
up that sometimes the guys behind the scenes
Yeah,
do
yeah.
not get enough.
Yeah, he
Oh,
set
right
up all
on,
his
guys.
mics. Yeah,
Right,
Petey.
for real.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And Petey's a
Appreciate it,
great sound engineer. If you want to see the things that he has produced, go to Little Fella Media.
Yeah.
All our live sessions with bands Thrice, Dustin Ketcher from Thrice.
Oh, yeah, you did thrice.
Yeah, we did like a lot of cool bands. He's recorded them live. So
Yeah, man.
if you guys want, check them out. Lions Den Studios. Shout out to that. If you're in Santa Clarita or the AV area or Los Angeles,
Shout out to
Sticks.
PD
sure.
for helping us out, the sound guy
Yep.
behind the scenes, man.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
cool. Always.
Thank you all, guys. So much.
Anytime,
And
guys. Thanks
let's
again.
see. You guys can follow us on Instagram at the Just Talk Podcast. Once again, thank you, Danny. Thank you, Colton. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you,
Thank you, Rich.
Petey.
Petey. And thank you all for watching this
James,
episode.
too, when you were here.
Yes, James.
Jason.
Sorry,
Jason.
Jason.
Throwing me off.
Brain fart.
All right, guys. Thank you, guys.
Peace
Peace
out.
out.